What you're about to read recounts the sworn federal courtroom testimony from the high-profile trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Reported verbatim by Inner City Press, the proceedings unfolded in a courtroom so silent you could hear a pin drop, until one woman's voice shattered the quiet with an account so harrowing it shook even the most seasoned observer. This was no ordinary testimony. Cassie Ventura, a former artist and romantic partner of Diddy, stood at the center. Her allegations described not only disturbing abuse, but a deeply orchestrated system of psychological and physical torment, ritualistic in its execution and grotesque in details. From forced acts during menstruation to drug-induced sexual coercion, Cassie's story painted a portrait of manipulation, domination, and trauma, allegedly carried out by Diddy. As she walked to the stand, 8 months pregnant, clad in a modest gray maternity dress, there was an unspoken understanding in the courtroom. This wasn't just another testimony. Cassie was the one who opened the floodgates, filing the lawsuit that ignited national headlines. Her demeanor was solemn, eyes forward, resembling less of a celebrity than a survivor of war. The prosecution began carefully, asking how she met Diddy and how the relationship evolved. But the line of questioning soon turned to darker depths. What followed was one of the most disturbing testimonies the entertainment world ever read. Cassie described what she called freak-offs, private sexual sessions, allegedly orchestrated by Diddy like film productions. Nothing was random. Everything was curated. Dim lighting, specific music, aromatic oils, and methodically placed towels. According to her, it was never just sex. It was a performance he directed with exacting control. She claimed he invited male escorts into the session not for himself, but to participate in her while he watched from the sidelines. Often she said it wasn't consensual and always choreographed. The process, Cassie testified, unfolded in 4 deliberate steps. Step 1 was descriptive foreplay. She alleged she had to verbally narrate everything happening, describing sensations and visuals in detail, as if reciting an erotic script. Diddy would sit silently, insisting on every nuance being spoken aloud. She recalled doing so while under the influence of substances he provided, pills, alcohol, and marijuana, anything that dulled her instinct. I knew it was wrong, she said, but I didn't know how to say no to someone who controlled my life. When asked what happened if she refused, she quoted Diddy saying, "If you don't do it, someone else will." And that statement hung in the air like smoke, with visible reactions from the jury and even Diddy's family members in the gallery. The testimony moved into step 2, touching. Cassie revealed Diddy had a fixation with sheen, specifically how skin appeared under soft lighting. The courtroom gasped when prosecutors revealed evidence from a raid on Diddy's home, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And she explained that oil was used excessively, applied every few minutes. "He wanted us to look like we were wrapped in cellophane," she said. "If the skin appeared dry, he would scream." Initially, some of the courtroom laughed, but the humor faded as she explained the deeper reason. The oil was meant to strip away humanity. When you're drenched in it, you stop feeling like a person. You become an object. Her voice broke momentarily, but she didn't stop. She recalled slipping on oily sheets, bruising herself, and hearing Diddy laugh or berate her. It was never about sex, she said. It was about control, dominance, and power. She mentioned seeing red blinking lights in the room, hidden cameras, she suspected. Though prosecutors haven't confirmed the discovery of such footage yet, their body language suggested that they were pursuing that lead. She also implicated staff, saying that they would enter the room mid-session, not to intervene but bring towels and reapply oil. Nobody said a word, she testified. They acted like it was normal. Cassie then described 3 and 4 steps. Step 3 was oral servitude. She admitted she would try to rush through it, not to offend, but to make it end faster. "It wasn't there by choice," she said. "I thought if I didn't do it, he'd just find someone else." Diddy allegedly directed these acts as if he were behind a camera giving her instructions. Slower, more eye contact, more emotion. She said it felt like he was scripting his own pornography with her as the unwilling star. Step 4 was intercourse, varied depending on Diddy's mood and comfort with the male participant. Sometimes he joined in, other times he watched. The most disturbing part, she said, came afterward. She was told to take the escort's semen and rub it on Diddy's chest and nipples. He said it made him feel powerful. The room reacted with horror. A reporter gasped. A juror looked nauseated. The judge called for a 5-minute break. Once court resumed, the prosecution asked about particularly traumatic sessions. Cassie testified she was forced to participate even during menstruation. There were no breaks, only linen changes and silent staff attending the scene. She also described a horrifying moment where a male escort urinated on her while she lay intoxicated and frozen on the floor. She explained why she stayed. "Fear. He told me no one would believe me," she said, "and I believed him." The court was struck silent. The only sound was the click of court reporters' keyboards. When asked to describe what these darkroom rituals look like from beginning to end, Cassie detailed a production-level setup. Rooms were prepped ahead of time, lightnings, props, cameras, placements, all coordinated. She saw a man adjusting a spotlight above a velvet couch. He wants the shadows to fall just right, the man told her. Hidden cameras, mystery pills, sex toys, even specialized gear that required instruction were all allegedly part of the setup. According to Cassie, some sessions coincided with full moons or Diddy's birthday, which he called spiritual freak-offs. He burned incense, played tribal music, and spoke phrases he claimed were ancient African invocations. He said I was helping him connect to something bigger than himself, Cassie testified. The emotional abuse, she said, was layered with physical violence. She recounted incidents where she was slapped and dragged, and she screamed when she broke character. In one case, she described being thrown against a metal bed frame. The prosecution showed a photograph of the scar she still carries. Another time, when she tried to leave a session, he calmly slapped her and blocked the door. She said she spent that night crying alone in the bathroom while he finished the session with others. Perhaps most chilling were the reactions of those around them. Cassie said that after some of the most violent incidents, staff would comfort her in twisted ways. One assistant handed her water and said, "You're okay, you're doing great." That, she said, was the worst part, that no one treated the abuse as wrong. Her attorneys then played a voicemail from Diddy recorded after one of these incidents. In it, he told her, "You know I love you, you make me do crazy things." This was the pattern, Cassie said. Break her down, then reel her back in with affection. "I don't think of it as abuse as the time," she concluded. "I thought of it as love." That statement silenced the courtroom completely. Then came a witness, known only as DA, a male escort who participated in many of the freak-offs. He testified that Cassie often contacted him directly, booking him under aliases. He described Diddy as mostly silent, observing from a distance. When asked about the alleged urination incident, DA shocked everyone by saying Cassie requested it, not Diddy. This contradicted her account, casting doubt on some details. DA confirmed the sessions were intensely controlled. No talking without permission, no touching Diddy, everything on camera. He described witnessing Cassie emerge bruised, in tears, and once saw Diddy shove her during an argument. This wasn't part of the act. That was abuse, he said. He admitted to being well compensated, paid in thousands, but he eventually stopped responding to Cassie's calls after a violent night when Diddy threw a bottle across the room. "I didn't want to be around that anymore." While his testimony complicated the prosecution's narrative, it also confirmed key details: Diddy's obsession with control, presence of cameras, and acts of violence. The trial reached a turning point when prosecutors played a piece of 2016 surveillance footage from the Intercontinental Hotel. The room went still. There was no commentary, no soundtrack, just raw footage of alleged violence. And for a moment, the courtroom wasn't just a place of facts and law. It became a window into a world few ever imagined, one where power, fame, and control blurred in to something terrifyingly real.